What's up, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south 77, aka 3-Star Draw. I answer to that too. And this here is the Adult Collector channel where we like to talk about G.I. Joe Classified, other G.I. Joe stuff sometimes, and sometimes other stuff that's not G.I. Joe that I like. However, we're doing G.I. Joe Classified today. One of my most anticipated figures to be updated from the Real American Hero line. I was in here all weekend sitting in this chair reviewing Rattler stuff, trying to do some pictures, all of the usual. I just finished up the last figure, looking forward to going to make something to eat, when I heard my dog start barking at Walmart, of all places, delivering this guy right here, number 168, Cobra Commander with combat armor. Why they didn't just call it Battle Armor Cobra Commander, I have no idea. Surely there is not a copyright somewhere on that, but I digress. I love this version of Cobra Commander. Not so much from the cartoon, because he didn't show up till the Dick series, which was terrible. If you were a Sunbow fan, if that's your jam, more power to you. But not because of the cartoon, because of the comic, because that arc from 155 to from 55 to 61 was one of the best mini arcs in the entire Marvel run. That's when you first see the battle armor, and that's when you meet Fred VII, and that's when that whole thing took place. I loved the introduction of that suit in the comic book. Now, I think this figure looks good. I'm fine with it. I've seen some people say that they think it's too dull. I haven't gotten it out yet, but I can already tell you it's not too dull. The pictures don't really do it justice. However, I am a little bit disappointed, and it's not going to take away in my review of the figure, but I'm disappointed that we got Dick cartoon, Battle Armor Cobra Commander, and not Marvel Cobra Commander with Fred. I'm one of the people that really wanted a Fred head with this. I know I can make a custom. I don't want to make a custom. I want a Hasbro Fred VII head to use with this guy. Now, maybe licensing, since it's through Marvel, even though they own G.I. Joe, maybe those versions of those characters are tied up in licensing with Marvel and they can't do them. Maybe they're just waiting. Or maybe they just don't like the comic. That's what it seems like. That's one of those little pieces of information that if they would give us, people like me wouldn't have to go, you know what, I wish they'd do this, but they just won't. We'd know. And knowing is half the battle. We'll check the box out here real quick. Here is obviously the front. Over here you have the attributes, number 168. And then blued out portrait and your QR code. Over here on the other side, you do have this nice art portrait of him. This one does look a little more cartoony to me than some of the portraits that we've been getting. Which number 168 there on the spine. This looks really like heavily influenced by the Deke cartoon art to me. I don't know, maybe it's just me. What do you guys think? It still looks good. I mean, it looks great. It's a little cartoony. And then back here on the back, get a nice close-up of Serpentor the iguana and his backpack, which that tells us which way his backpack goes on, doesn't it? And then here he is in the temple, little Dio shot of, I guess, where Operation Dragonfire took place. Is that right? I'm not as familiar with the Deke stuff as I am with the Sunbow. Just wasn't my jam. I've seen it all once and then a couple episodes. Another time or two. I did grab out Marvel number 58 because I always love this cover. Cobra Commander and Billy, and this is of course the issue where he gets said armor. And I don't get to do this as much with this top down view, so this is how I'll have to do it. There is where Fred unveils the armor to him. A new suit of battle armor fit for a Cobra Commander. So I just wanted to get that out. If you guys have never seen that maybe and didn't know where the armor come from, that's where it come from. Then they used it in the Deke cartoon. We'll just set that off to the side here. Alright, let's get this guy out. As usual, we will take a look at everything he comes with first. So, backpack. It's very similar to the Real American Hero backpack, and this is the proper way to put it on him. I don't exactly know what this backpack is supposed to be. I've never really understood what this backpack is exactly supposed to be. It's just got all angular. It's got all these little spiky things coming off of it. Like, I never did really get what the backpack was, but you got some vents over here. Looks like some exhaust or something, and then some more black kind of ribbed vents. Kind of looks like a car air conditioning vent over here. You know, these little spikes coming off of it. I know a lot of people kind of considered this to be like a jetpack, and it looks like it has blast effect ports in the bottom of it. It doesn't come with any, but maybe you can use some of the smaller blast effects we've already got to go in this. I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of jetpacky, but really the way it tapers seems like it should only have one port in there for it. And you do get some hands with him. You get another left hand that is a pointer, armored on the top of the hand, and a couple of plates. Looks like they're flexible there at the thumb, and do have horizontal articulation on this hand. So Cobra Commander gets a lot of grief in the classified line because he always comes with a ton of hands, but I think a pointer hand is something Cobra Commander should probably always come with. And then he has the same thing. He has a punchy fist for the right, balled up fist there. Same thing. Armor plating there. Looks like that's flexible. Probably Kevlar gloves or something underneath. And then, almost that time to drop something. Then you have one for the left hand. Same thing. These look pretty good. Go ahead and see if I can free up that horizontal peg there. He's right here. So he does come with the iguana, which we know is Serpentor. His little back legs do turn, and so do his front ones. He's got a little bit of articulation there. I didn't realize this thing was going to have articulation. It looks really nice. It's an iguana. Nice black stripes on the tail. Several different color greens here, and then you have your wrinkles under here. I believe is probably what these are supposed to be, and they're like a really dark green from what it looks like. And then, of course, you do have the spine on the back. Nice detail in there. Some little bumps and ridges, a couple wrinkles. Some pretty decent sculpting went into this guy. And then he's got his, I don't know what that's called. Was it a gizzard? They call it a gizzard with lizards. It's a lizard gizzard. I don't know. Neck waddle. I don't know what the hell. But Serpentor the iguana, as we see that gets merged with what Naugahyde's iguana. And they do give him a pretty decent looking pistol here. This is a pretty faithful recreation to the Real American Hero pistol. And a blast effect port there. It's like a little spacey laser pistol. It's not a direct recreation, but it definitely gets the job done. Nice homage to that original pistol that he came with. Got this giant optic on the top of it. This looks like in the Terminator, the very first one, those long slides that he had that had that gigantic laser sight on it when laser sights were pretty new. That's what this reminds me of. No paint or anything on it. This one I don't really feel like needs any, but does look pretty decent. And we'll check out the head sculpt. So the hose is sculpted in, which is a good thing. I'm so glad they sculpted it in. And it's not solid, so you can see the break there in the hose. So it's actually raised off of the helmet. So that's pretty nice design work to make this little hose actually not run along the edge of the helmet there. It's pretty clever. Check out the eyes, looking pretty centered. Don't see any problems with the eyebrows. And it's not really on camera here. I'm trying to look at it up close myself. There we go. No issues there. Cobra sigil looks good. There's different armor plates here. Actually, this is probably forged out of one plate. Maybe back here in the back. I don't know. So he's got... I never quite figured this out. He has this like breathing apparatus that it just goes like to his ear. So, have you ever have your head inside a dive helmet and you can just hear yourself talk and breathe? That's probably what he's hearing in there. No, I'm sure it's got all kind of advanced electronics in it. And this is the human head. Oh, and this thing, it would have been cool if they'd have figured out a way to sculpt it in around the edge, but this thing's also wired with C4, I believe, in case anybody tries to take it off when he doesn't want it. So I'm just going to flip him over and let him catch the light here a little bit. He is not dull. I did not need this guy to be any shinier than this. He looks freaking perfect. If he was any shinier, he'd look like again, going back to Terminator, I guess it's on my brain, he'd look like a T-800, I would think. I think he looks perfect, honestly. So the head sculpt that he does have on, this is the Once a Man, this is the Lizard King Cobra Commander underneath here, sticking to that Sunbow and Deke continuity. It looks really good. It's got the reptile eyes, and you can actually see a little bit of what looks like scales there around his eyes. I think it looks really, really good. I wasn't planning on using this head, but I might. And then same thing on the helmet and the hose here. It's lifted off of the actual helmet. Same exact head sculpt. I mean, why would that be any different? Just the eyes are different. I love this armor. This is a great looking figure. These nice pauldrons up here, these pauldrons up here. They're a little flexible, so we'll see. Oh wow, they're very flexible because they are built in underneath into the shoulder joint. So we've seen that with somebody else. Who else did we see that with? So no problem there. You don't have to worry about the pauldrons catching. He can actually do a hell of a T-pose. I was not expecting that. So man, this thing's awesome so far. So let's check out some of the sculpt work. We got this underneath rib, this black underneath suit. I don't know what to call it. It's like a bodysuit maybe, but it does go all the way up and blend into the helmet. That's blue collar, perfect color blue, kind of like Cobra Officer blue in Classified. These red straps holding up the top plate here. He does have the upper torso cut. He doesn't have a waist ratchet, but you can see all of the texture and stuff in this blue on the suit. So this is just, I'm sure, fabric. I'm sure underneath it's meant to look like this underneath, and this is just a blue fabric. Go down into the bottom part of the torso into another plate. It's got a hose that's sculpted in, totally sculpted in. A little nice silver port that the hose goes into and runs around into the back to another port. Going down to his belt, this red belt, breaking it up, going across. He doesn't have any other red other than the straps up here on the shoulder, and his belt and holster, and then his Cobra on the helmet. I am really liking this figure. Belt buckle. It's down to this sculpted, almost like a. It's kind of like a mix between the Zartan sigil logo with the hood and like just a Cobra logo. It's really interesting. He's got these 3 rivets here holding the bottom sections of the armor together, right above the belt. A cod piece. It looks like that's probably all one molded piece. This suit is supposed to be tailor fit, custom fit to Cobra Commander's measurements, and it's not a floating holster. It is actually attached to the belt here. And go down into the legs. Very RoboCop looking legs. I know that's been pointed out quite a bit, but if you just look at the legs, there's no way to not see RoboCop. But the original figure was pretty similar. So you can just see all these grooves and ridges in it where it's got these different plates put together. And go down into the boots. Sculpted boots. Like, you can't even really call them boots. It's just the bottom part of the armor. But for lack of anything else, we'll say boots. Got this maybe vent port down here at the bottom on both sides of each leg. Then down here you actually have a cuff down here, and it even goes down further than that. So this is probably some kind of tightening mechanism, and then it slips down over the actual boot or shoe, whatever, which is also armored as well. He got on some armored penny loafers. I like it. I like it a lot. 2025 made in China on his legs, and of course there's your batch number and date code and all that if you ever need to talk to Hasbro about anything. And then over here, be careful, I guess, when you lift his arm, because you're going to want to turn that pauldron. You're going to want to grab the pauldron and twist it, so I wouldn't want to twist that out or anything. Flip him over, look at the back. It's kind of hard to describe the boots, the legs. It's really hard to describe what they are. They do just look like he's a walking piece of armor. And I would hope underneath all the blue there is some more armor here. So in the back, he has, next to where his port goes in, he has this spinal looking piece that's probably some kind of flexible armor piece, and then a nice big armor plate on the back. Looks like there might be a little bit of a paint app overspray right there at the backpack peg. Not really anything to complain about. It's just there it is. It's just a little bit of overspray. I don't see anywhere else on this figure, and it's a good feeling figure. It feels solid. It's kind of a heavier figure, so does bend at the waist, and then he has the upper torso, so you can get some pretty good articulation. You don't want to go too far with these guys and stretch anything that's in here. I think there's, I don't know, is it a ball socket under here, some kind of band? I know somebody broke one on one review. I don't remember who it was, but it's been a while when they first went to this. Let's check out the rest of his articulation. Arms move nice, or that arm does. No issue over here on the right arm. The left is a lot more rigid for whatever reason, but nothing that's a problem. So joints feel really solid on this guy. He does not have any kind of a leg articulation, like anywhere up till you get down to the bottom. No thigh swivel. Oh wait, I take that back. I am wrong. That does swivel. So it's inside this piece here. He does have a thigh swivel. You just probably want to hold it in here. And while we got him in this position, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Pretty decent. I don't want to go any more than that. Drop down hips work nice and smoothly. So I'm impressed with that thigh articulation. I didn't realize that was in there. And then down there, there's the boot cut and ankle rockers. So this guy should be able to get into some pretty good poses with the amount of articulation that he's got. I really like this figure, y'all. Alright, let's stick his backpack on, see how that looks. See if it fits in there. That's pretty flush. That's how the backpack should fit in. No issues there. This is a guy that I probably will display with his backpack on. And apparently Cobra Commander's a lefty, because that's where his holster's at. Does have those more rigid hands, but no problem getting his hand in his pistol. This is a great looking figure. This dude's going to be awesome for pictures. So let's see if this fits in here. Custom made holster. I have a feeling that's going to fall out. Hell, not too easily, actually. I'm surprised. It's a weird looking holster and placement. Like he's going to be pulling that out by the magazine for whatever type of pistol this actually is. I mean, come on, it's got to be a laser pistol, right? This is a great figure. Let's check out the helmet. There, took a little bit to get that popped on, get that other head sculpt popped on. He's not loose. It's just a really striking figure with the silver. I don't have a lot of wiggle room with the ankle articulation. Not crazy about that. Like, see down in there. Not real crazy about that. It's a very small little connector in there. Sorry, trying to get it on camera here. Very small little connector in there at the ankle, so it's going to make posing the ankles this way kind of weird. That one's just not. That left one moved just fine, but this one over here, you guys know ankles are my sticking point with a lot of these guys. Man, that's the last thing I want to do is get these ankles too loose. There's actually there we go. It was really hard breaking that one loose. So you see how I did it was bent the foot over to the side where you can actually see that, because you may need to heat that if yours is that way. Sorry, I didn't realize I had this all way off camera. You may need to heat that if yours is like this. But yeah, turn it to the side. Get that freed up. There we go. And I don't feel like the ankles are way loose like they are on some of them. So I think he's going to stand up pretty well. Let's see. Let's give him some different hands. There we go. There's his pointer. Cobra Commander's got to be able to point out who screwed the operation up, you know. And then we'll throw on the right one. There's the right one. There went the gun. It came out that time. You know, just shaking his fist because somebody other than him screwed up. Swim. Someone who isn't me. Stands up nice, man. This is a really good figure, you guys. And get him back there. So I'm going to get some pictures here with him and stick on the end of this. I don't have any bad things to say about this figure other than I wish that it had been Fred VII. That's really the only thing I can find wrong with this guy. Does that make it too busy? You're probably going to be able to get this pose other than not having a completely flat hand. You'll be able to come pretty close to this. So I'm sure I will eventually, maybe not in the review, but I will have a picture of that. So you can see just from the cover here how close they came to getting this guy right. Like, there's the belt buckle piece. They did a really good job bringing this off the comic book page. I'll have to go back and check out a Deke cartoon to see how close they actually got. But he is not dull in person. You probably don't want him any shinier than this. This is a fantastic freaking figure, guys. If you don't have this dude ordered, even if you didn't like this figure or didn't have it in '87, I recommend picking it up now. It is a must-have if you're a Cobra Commander fan. Even coming with this Serpentor that I don't really care about much, but even this thing is cool. Even if you don't want to pretend it's Serpentor, pretend he's got a pet iguana. Oh, man. I know you're waiting on it. Cobra Commander with combat armor, aka battle armor Cobra Commander. For me, this figure is a 5 out of 5 yeehaws. That's as high as my scale goes. I got no other wants that I could have wanted out of this figure. As far as the figure being nice and recreating what it's supposed to. Aside from they went with cartoon instead of comic, what it is, this is perfect for a Cobra Commander. So there he is, you guys. I hope you go pick him up. Walmart has him in stock, or had him in stock at the time of filming this. So run out and pick him up. Hit that like, that thumbs up, that share, that subscribe, all that good stuff if you're not already. And I will see you guys later here on 3-Star Draw. Should have another one of this wave coming out sometime later this week. See ya.